Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joyce, and today I'm going to be making a review on a great book, The Power of Your Mind by Pastor Oyakhilome. And this book was recommended to me by my listening pastor, Pastor Victor Fisher, and this book actually came in at the right time. I don't know if you've watched my previous video I made review on The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. If you've not watched it, you can click on the link and go watch it and then come back to it. And I was really, it was more like the right time, because after reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, I was like, I do know what the power of your mind is, but is it biblical? And then reading this, The Power of Your Mind by Pastor Chris, it made me know that the power of your mind is actually something that God has actually gifted us. He has gifted us our mind as a tool for us to implement to get anything and everything we want. So, without further ado, let's dive into this book. God has equipped you with a special instrument to help you come into full possession of the manifold blessing which is in your mind. And to come into full realization of this, you have to renew your mind daily. And in Romans 12:2, it says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed and progressively changed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." So you've got to learn to use your mind right. And this is what he termed as mind management. The concept of mind management is reorganizing and reprogramming your mind. You are the expression of your mind. What you are today is a function of the mind. That is, whatever it is you've been thinking about has actually brought you to where you are right now. You want to understand how the mind works. And now we have the outward man and the inward man. The mind is a man's faculty of reasoning and thoughts, which results in our attitude and action. We have the outward man and the inward man. Then our outward man is the physical body, the five senses. The inward man, however, is the spirit and soul. You want to educate your inward man, and this is done by mind management, and God has taught us how to do this. It is not what goes into your mouth that defines you, but what comes out of your mouth. And this is because whatever you consume goes into your mouth, your belly, and out. Right? But then what comes out of your mouth actually originates from your heart. That's why it defines a man. So you want to be very careful about what you think about and what comes out of the mouth on a daily. You want to protect your mind at all costs, because you don't want to leave your mind open like an open field, right? Because any worthless seed can be thrown and surely it's going to germinate, it's going to grow. So you want to make sure that your mind is protected at all costs. Watch what goes into your mind and what you permit. Your spirit is only accessible through your mind. That is, your mind is the door to your spirit. So nothing gets in there that you don't permit first. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Watch over your heart with all diligence, for from it flows spring of life." Our thoughts are both constructive and destructive. That is, if we think positive thoughts, it constructs our life, and if we think negative thoughts, we destroy our life. So you are a reflection of your thoughts. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. And if you can't change your thoughts for good, you can't change your life. And now we're going to look at the different sources of our thoughts. One, it originates from you, from God, and from Satan. The thoughts we get from ourselves, which is our own reasoning, is gotten from probably what we see, what we hear, our environment, right? And then the thoughts of God, which we read from the Bible. Yeah, and then the thoughts from Satan, obviously, evil thoughts. So after reading this book, found out that evil thoughts don't come from us. They actually come from the devil. right? So you want to make sure you protect your mind, you guide your mind at all costs, and then you watch what you see and hear, obviously, because that's what our mind plays back. When we're sleeping, you think your mind is at rest. It is not, actually. Your mind keeps on working, your brain works while you're sleeping. So you want to make sure during the day what you listen to and what you hear are of good thoughts. Your thoughts affect things around you, and this is because your thoughts releases signals, and these signals can be received by things around you, not just things, people. So you wouldn't know whatever you think about. If you're thinking negative thoughts and you are around people, you wouldn't know, but people actually pick up these signals from you, and then it overall affects probably whatever it is you guys are discussing about. So you want to think good thoughts when you're around people, even in your house, your walls, your furniture, your clothes, everything around you. Yes, they do retain memory. They receive and retain memory. I think last time when I read this book, I literally had to speak to my wall because I've said a lot of rubbish. I told myself, this place I'm staying, I don't like all this. Now, what do you think your house would reciprocate to you when you keep telling yourself in your own home, I don't want to stay at I had to thank my wall for keeping me safe and protecting me because I'm happy where I am right now. If you're dealing with negative thoughts and pain, you want to put yourself out there to make sure you're thinking only positive thoughts. You want to tell yourself, I am full of love. Anger has no authority in me, right? You want to make sure you tell yourself these positive things over and over and over again so you don't manufacture anger, pain, right? Failure in your life. You want to take low thoughts. And this is seen in the Bible in Philippians 4:6-7. And it says, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your request be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and mind through Jesus Christ. So, whatever it is that is going on around you in your environment, you don't want to think about it. You only want to focus on the positive things. And now we live in a world where a lot of happening, right? Like one chance and all that. It's everywhere. It's on social media, right? You can't take your mind off it, but you want to put in conscious effort to only fill your mind with positive things. Now, we want to look at your attitude, which is your mental disposition. Now, you are responsible for your attitude. The way you work, the way you talk, the way you post, the way you respond to people, right? You may not be responsible for how information gets to you, but you are responsible with what you do with that information. And now, the exciting thing about the mind is that it can be managed, right? The mind processes and controls things, but then it can be managed by you. You have that full responsibility to control and manage your mind. So whatever it is that's coming towards you, whatever information you see, whatever information you hear, whatever it is you perceive in your environment, you control what you do with that information. You want to remember that your mind is the door to your heart. So you want to have a new way of looking at things, which is God's perspective. Now, when you do this, your attitude is going to change. You want to see your future first from within. Now, your future is already God's past. And God told Abraham, I have made you father of many nations. And at this point, his wife was barren, right? But how did God help Abraham see this? God told him to look at the stars, right? So what you want to do is you want to help your vision and make it clear in your mind. We have 3 realms of vision. We have the eyes of your spirit, of your body, and your mind. And the eyes of your spirit is not under your control, but under God's control. He is the only one that can open the eyes of your spirit to see visions. The eyes of your body, which is your physical eye, it's only restricted to the physical realm, which is just to see the physical things. And the eyes of your mind, which is the creative eyes, which is just to the mental realm. This is the eye used to create things in your mind, the creative future. it has no limits. Now you can create whatever world you want to live in with your mind, and this is a God-given gift. Anyone can do this. Now, how do you create from the mind? This moment of creation is called meditation, which is bringing forth from the mind. You want to have a long time where you stay in the solitude and you create things. You create the future of you. Through meditation is creation. And now you want to focus your mind on one thing. Whatever it is you want to create, you want to focus your mind on it. Now, if you're fasting and you're praying, you're not focusing on something, you're not creating nothing, right? When you're fasting and you're praying, you want to focus your mind on what you want to create. Then the power of your creation comes into play. Remember, you've got to help your vision, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, Abraham used the stars. Jacob used the markings on the road for the sheep. So you want to create a clear picture in your mind to help your vision come into fruition. It doesn't matter that God has already given you. If you don't see it, you can't get it. If you don't see whatever God has already put in your possession, you can't create it. Now, the extent of your vision is the boundary of your blessing. So you want to dream big. You want to make sure your visions are this big, right? Because that's going to be your limit. Because God has already given you everything you desire. But then it is left to you to create and to make sure you bring the clear picture in your mind to create whatever it is you want. And in conclusion, you want to be renewed daily. The renewing of your mind should be a daily experience for you. And how do you renew your mind? Making sure your mind is consistent with God's word. In order to become what God has created you to be, you want to begin to train and develop your inward man on a daily. That is, focus your mind on God's word. You want to focus your mind on only good thoughts. And Jesus wasn't lying when he said all things are made possible to the believing ones. So if you believe that you can create the vision, the dreams you want with your mind, it's going to come true. And secondly, God's word is truth. I don't care what the world says right now. You don't want to care what the world says. You don't want to care what's going on in the environment. Only God's word is truth. And now the doctors might tell you facts, right? The news might tell you facts, but only God's word is true. You want to think what is true, which is God's word. Honest, pure, trustworthy, of good report, just, loving, and righteous. And lastly, you want to protect your mind. You want to make sure whatever it is you accept, whatever it is you absorb in your mind is only of good report. And you might not be able to control what information comes to you, but you can control what you do with those information. I hope you've gained a lot from this book, and you go get a copy and read it so you'll be blessed. Definitely, I won't be able to touch everything about this book. So this should encourage you to go get the book, but soft copy or hard copy. Make sure you get the book and read it so you'll be blessed. Thank you for coming this far with me. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, you subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And I'll catch you in my next video.